Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be doing a gubernatorial prediction for the competitive seats up here for the 2026 midterms as far as the governor elections that are looking to be competitive. So we've got a bit of an interesting map here that has some key differences that you would normally see on a presidential election prediction map. We've got some states that remain the same, California, Texas in the Republican Party's column, or California in the Democrats, Texas in the Republicans. But it is really just these key swing states. We also, interestingly enough, have Pennsylvania in the likely blue rating. This might be a bit optimistic for Democrats, but I do think that Governor Shapiro would probably coast to victory for re-election fairly easily. He's pretty popular. He faced a particularly easy Republican to beat, an extreme Republican, during his last election, and he has a pretty high approval rating. So I think that would be why the state of Pennsylvania is in the likely column. And then we have two states that normally vote for Democrats, Vermont and New Hampshire, that are both in the Republican Party's category. They're states in the Northeast, especially those two, have had a long history of voting for Republicans that are kind of progressive Republicans that are a little more moderate. And that is generally the type of Republican that gets elected to the governorship in those two states, which is why those two are in the likely red. And then we'll get over to the lean states. So with that, we have Iowa and Kansas, both competitive states. Not all the time, but those two are usually Kansas is in the safe, if not likely category, and Iowa is in the likely, if not lean category. But these two states definitely going to be interesting ones to keep an eye on. But really, it's going to be these key 5 gubernatorial elections that we'll want to keep an eye on and do a prediction for. So I will start with, well, we'll just be going through the states in no particular order. I will start with Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin, this is going to be a Democrat hold. I think that Democrats should be fairly optimistic about their chances in this state. We've seen election results in Wisconsin since 2024 that have been optimistic signs for Democrats, so I think that they would be able to win the governorship there in the state of Wisconsin. Michigan, I think, would be close, but for now, I'm going to put that into the Democratic Party's column as well. And then Georgia is going to be interesting. I'm going to put that in the Republican category. And then that leaves us with Nevada and Arizona. These two are both swing states that have had one more so than the other, but generally vote Democrat. In 2024, there was a real exception to this, with Arizona going in the lean red column on the presidential level. We'll start with Arizona. Arizona currently has a Democratic governor. I'm not certain if they are term limited or anything, but I do think if generic Democrat versus generic Republican, that it would result in a Democratic victory in the state of Arizona. Nevada has actually a fairly popular Republican governor, which is a bit of an interesting case. Trump won the state in 2024, but this governor won prior to that and has been able to show that he's capable of winning in a state that usually tilts, if not leans, left. So I think that Republicans will have a real shot at maintaining their control of the governor position in the state of Nevada. So that is going to be my final prediction, with 27 seats, 27 governorships for the Republicans to 23